Shalom Aleichem. Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High. Through His Son Yahushua HaMashiach. It's your brother Uncle K, and we're back with another video. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing out there? Hope y'all doing good. Hope y'all safe and sound. And I hope y'all have a sound mind and a sound heart. So let's get into the video. Fellas, protect your energy. Alright? We're living in times now we gotta protect our energy to the highest degree. Because we moving like prophets these days. You see, prophets, they have insight. They have discernment. The same way that the Mashiach could understand what someone was thinking. If someone had evil thoughts, good intentions, in his word, he says that we're gonna do greater things. So that means put two and two together. That means we're gonna have similar abilities and it's gonna be a little more enhanced. That's why the majority of us, we're empaths. That's why we could sense energy. That's how we could sense people ulterior motives. That's how we could tell what time people really on. But a prophet has to listen to what the Most High telling him to do. If the Most High tells the prophet to be quiet, the prophet has to be quiet. If the Most High tells the prophet to speak, the prophet speaks. When the Most High tells the prophet to move, the prophet moves. But a lot of times we take this joy, we take this love, we take this peace, and we want to give it to any and everybody that don't deserve it. They got filth on their hands. They got filth on their mind. They're not even making the attempt to clean up their habits or clean up their life, clean up their conduct, or try to be a better man or try to be a better woman. A lot of times they think just because they work in a 9 to 5 and they hitting the gym, they think everything is cool. But remember, the spiritual is way more important than the physical. You work on that spirit, you work on that ruach. Let me tell you something, that ruach is gonna be super strong. All right. So we know for a fact that us as empaths, but us as loving and kind people, we tend to give a lot of ourselves to people, meaning we tend to uplift people that don't even deserve it. We tend to speak just so we can make somebody feel a little better about themselves. Not for vain purposes though, but sometimes it's naturally how you are feeling, especially if you are accomplishing goals through your day. You know that feeling when you had a good session at the gym. You may have had a leg day, right? You put in some work, them squats. You putting in that work, lunges. You doing what it is you got to take to really work them hamstrings, them quads, work them calves, tighten up the glutes, right? Work on that lower back, right? So you get all that good stimulation. You get all that testosterone coming up. So you start feeling good. Them endorphins, the dopamine. You know what I'm saying? Them neurotransmitters is going off. So sometimes you be like, man, I'm feeling good. Hey, let me tell this dude real quick as I'm walking out the gym, or when I'm at the grocery store, just telling people like, hey man, you doing good, or how you doing, man? A lot of times that's you let the emotion take control. And when we focus on the Most High, we got to make sure our emotions is intact. All right. And on top of it too, all of us men on this channel, we're practicing retention. All right. A lot of men may not want to practice retention because they may feel as though that they already have the success of the world. But when you practice retention, it's nothing like having success in the Shamayim, in the heavens. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like having your prayers answered right away. It's nothing like having that insight of all the evil that's going on around you and making you want to pray harder and harder and harder. That's a real beautiful thing. Having that inclination where you could realize when somebody is talking about you secretly, or when somebody got evil, wicked intentions against you. That's what retention is. Retention give you them powers. Retention give you that tenfold, that tenfold, that tenfold, right? Fellas, you see, as I'm feeling good right now, I hope you're feeling good as well too. I hope right now you on a good streak. I hope right now you going through this month real smooth, because you know the worldly traditions, they like to put labels on everything, but we do this all year round, all season round. There ain't no competition with it. Hold on, fellas. There's a lot of noises sometimes outside. You know, a lot of what they call it, noise campaigns. You know, when you speaking that truth, you know, a lot of things just start going off. A lot of people start walking past, you know, more than the average. But that's the Most High showing you things as well too. That's the Most High telling you things too. When you get that little ear ring, right? That's the Most High telling you things too. When you start seeing those numbers, that's the Most High telling you something too. When you start seeing those stars align in the sky, that's the Most High talking to you too, man. For real. So listen, we gotta protect our energy. All right. Another thing too, I want to touch bases on. We gotta protect our energy even more, right? So us being men, right, being a prophet. A lot of prophets of old, fearfully and wonderfully made. We know that off top. The Most High says that in His Word. But through the scriptures, we know for a fact that all the prophets were handsome men, striking men, cunning men, men that men that made people turn their necks. But at the same time, a lot of people didn't want the prophets, or they wanted to shed blood, right? They wanted to take down the prophets, right? Now this goes basis on the society that we live in now, because the society is based off of attraction, right? So on top of retention, when you dedicate your life to the Most High even more, He changes your frame. Everything about you your structure starts to become well defined. You know, your face starts getting well defined. You know, everything that you're working on just gets more enhanced, right? So your features get enhanced, your looks get enhanced, your body mass get enhanced, everything about you get enhanced. So that's gonna make you even more fearfully and wonderfully made man. And that's another way that you gotta protect your energy, all right? Because females gonna try to come at you. Females gonna try to approach you in certain ways, not verbally, but they're gonna do subtle movements, because that's the time we living in right now. We living in these gesture movements, this body language type. You know, everybody's on Bumble, everybody's on Tinder, everybody's on these apps, you know, swiping. So in the physical, in the flesh, a lot of times they doing these gestures as well too, which is energy, right? Kinetic energy, movement. That's energy, right? Movement is energy, kinetic energy. So a lot of their movements be a certain wave of energy. They be trying to get you to feel as though that, come to me, get interested in me, when you don't have any interest in that person, you know. And that's a lot of that's what happens with prophets. Look at Samson. Samson was a prophet of the Most High. Look what happened. He was a handsome dude, strong. He had the strength of the Most High, right? Take down thousands. But every time he came across women, women saw him for what he was too. Women like a strong dude. Women like a handsome dude. A man of the Most High. But you saw what happened to him at the end, right? Right. Got his power taken away. Got his two eyes gauged out. At the end of the day, the Most High still used him to, you know, break down the temple and take down a couple more. Right. All praises to the Most High for that. Right. So with that heightened attraction too, we got to be careful, because that's going to bring forth a lot of enemies too. A lot of men too going to envy. A lot of men going to stare at you from distances, because silence is very strong too. That's why we got to continue to move like the prophets of old, because right now the Most High is raising up prophets. We moving like prophets. All right, we can converse with people, but then in a certain breath, you're going to feel that energy or something is not aligning, and we got to catch that instantly. And I'll give y'all an example, right? So last week I was at the gym, and at the different location, I haven't been to this location in over a year. So I decided to pop up at the location, right, to get a little leg workout and a little shoulder workout. And there was a gentleman that saw me like a year ago, and he saw me again, and ironically, he was on the shoulder press machine that I wanted to get on. So I said, "Hey, you can hold it down for me when you're done." He said, "Nah, bro, just jump in." I was like, "All right." So look, so we working in. He was like, "Hey, man, I remember you from like a while back." He was like, "Man, you got way bigger now." I was like, "Man, I didn't know I was being watched." I said it just like that. I was like, "Wow, man, I didn't know I was being watched." I didn't know I was being watched. And I said it in that way, like, I don't focus on y'all. So I didn't know him. I never paid attention to him like that. So I said, "Hey, I'm being watched." So people see your development more than you see it. Like, of course, I could tell that my frame has went up more echelons. But for somebody else to say that, "Man, I saw you before and you got way bigger now," it's a cool thing. So, we was chopping it up, got some insight, got a little bit of opportunities. And then I saw him yesterday. And the gentleman told me, over the weekend, he was in another state doing some business. And this whole time, like, he's an older gentleman than me. Like, I'm 31. This man was 47. And that's to show you, just because you conduct yourself like a so-called masculine man, that does not mean that you're masculine in totality. You know, a lot of people praise women too much. And in the middle of a conversation of us talking about his work that he was doing, he decided to say, "Man," and there was like hundreds of beautiful women. And I was just like, all right, all right. Like, in my head, I'm just like, all right, bro. I said it like that too, physically. I was like, I didn't even open my mouth. I just like, okay, okay. He threw off the whole conversation, because we could have been talking about the work that we're doing right now. We could have been talking about like something of edification. We could have been talking about a style of training. We could have talked about uh like a hard working man these days, or just like the dedication that we put into this gym. But you see how prophets move. Prophets don't care about the things that the modern man cares about. This man really came out his shell and was like, "Man, there was so many beautiful women." And I'm like, so ain't no telling what he was doing that weekend. So I had to make sure that I clean up my hands now and stop exchanging energy with people that don't deserve that energy, or they could contaminate you as well too. You feel me? So we gotta protect ourselves, fellas. We gotta protect ourselves. Even though we on retention, we still gotta put in that work. Even though we praying and fasting and doing the things that we gotta do, we gotta still put in that work with common sense. We gotta apply common sense. We gotta apply the things of old. We gotta apply how when prophets used to walk, they would be so quiet, but then the Most High would give them that message, and then they would come through and deliver that message the right time, and everybody would get a conviction. Everybody would start cleaning up their act, and we got to move on that same time, fellas. So let's give some positivity for the end of this message. So, fellas, I want to say congratulations to all the fellas that's staying consistent right now, that's dedicating their time to hard work, ambitions, got their vision on point, inclining their ears unto the Most High, being still, getting into that meditation, reading, working on themselves, keeping their temple nice and clean, working on sobriety, staying sober, staying vigilant, as well as too staying on retention. Yeah, shout out to the fellas that's staying on retention too. Stay strong on your journey right now, man. We coming down to the end of the year. This is the season where we got to put in that work. So when it comes down to next year, we can harvest all that work that we've been putting in, all that we've been stockpiling, all them investments that we've been putting into. We're going to get it when it's time to harvest, man. So keep retaining, man. Keep maintaining, keep gaining, and continue to stay at peace, fellas. Keep growing on a day-to-day basis and stay vigilant. All right, protect your energy. It's your brother, Uncle K. Shalom, Aleichem. Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High through His Son, Yahushua HaMashiach. I'm going to see you all in the next video. But for now, peace.